Mehrdad Khonsari is a former Iranian diplomat and he joins me now. Thank you very much, Mehrdad, for joining us here on the show. So, Mehrdad, we are expecting the Foreign Secretary, Jeremy Hunt, to address the Parliament in seconds and talk about the measures to be taken against Iran. What are your expectations there?
Well, I think that whatever he says is going to be quite measured, in the sense that I think what they are really hoping for is for quiet behind-the-scenes diplomacy and mediation to try and resolve this matter before it balloons up into something that neither party really wants at this time. The Iranians want to look robust at home while not crossing certain dangerous red lines, and the British don't really want this matter to become so big as to force them to become sidelined from their other European partners and more in line with US policy towards Iran. So in balance, I think there is a desire on the part of both sides to try to come up with a situation where the Iranian ship is handed back to Iran and the British ship is handed back to the to the UK with minimal amount of threats and hard talk sort of taking place.
So, Mehrdad, are you hopeful that there is diplomatic solution to the tension in the Gulf? And if so, what may they be?
Well, I think that as I said, you have to bear in mind that the Iranians want to try and pretend and to act in a way that they are not weak, but they know very well that their cards are ultimately limited. At the same time, they don't want to create a situation whereby they lose the support of the UK and Europe more, you might say more in a bigger way, lose their support in the fight that they have with the United States, and to force Europe and the UK to join the American camp over the nuclear agreement against Iran. These are the sort of the headlines. But at the same time, getting a way out of this, finding a way out of this situation requires mediation. And I think both parties are looking to either local countries in the Persian Gulf who have a vested interest in mediating, or parties in Europe who have not sort of come out robustly against Iran as playing a part. So I think that is the more or less the general scenario that I envision is going to take place, because, as I said, both parties want to see this matter over with before getting out of hand and obtaining dimensions that neither party really wants. And in particular, there is no gain in it for the United Kingdom.
Well, tweets do not always reflect that hopefulness, really. We had the Foreign Minister of Iran, Javad Zarif, say UK must cease being an accessory to economic terrorism of the US. So then again, though, these are tweets that we are talking about. But when it comes to the economic sanctions, what kind of effects will it have on Iran, Mehrdad?
Well, I don't think that any economic sanctions deriving from this particular incident could make things any worse for the Iranians than it already is. The most important thing, the most important dimension is not to break this European, you might say, unitary position that tries to find ways of helping Iran against the American sanctions. If this situation persists and no satisfactory route is found, then the United Kingdom will be forced to side more with the United States, something that it doesn't want to do itself. As for Mr. Zarif's tweets, you have to bear in mind that he is trying to appease domestic audiences and to give Iranian diplomacy a kind of robustness, which it certainly doesn't have. So I wouldn't pay too much attention to what he says, other than the fact that he is, more than anybody else, looking for a diplomatic solution behind the scenes, in my opinion.
Well, we do have to wrap it up here, but thank you for that insight, Mehrdad Khonsari.